Evening, everyone. How are you? Thane, Kirby here. Sophia not with us tonight. Together we are Talkback with Thane and Sophia. This is our last week of broadcasting before we break for a break. And then we'll be back in early January with a fresh New Zealand on air proposal to take out some of the journalist funds for $50 million. So wish us luck, everybody. But if you'd like to continue the show, you can help us along, pay the bills. Go to talkback.co.nz and you can make a donation. We've had a few donations. So we are still doing it, which is great. Half of us don't have time and we've got lives, but we turn up every night to turn it over. And we're so happy with our on-demand viewing numbers. They're just fantastic. So thank you very much. I'm just going to have a quick one of these. Fabulous. We've got a great lineup tonight. Tim Richards is a DJ and producer. I used to work with him at George FM, and he used to be a booker for nightclubs and also for music festivals. He's going to join us. What's he been up to? The DJ world has been in limbo with COVID, of course, thanks to the Labor government. COVID. And so how has he survived and how's his subsidy going? Well, let's ask him. He's on at around 9:30 tonight. But our first guest is Bomber Bradbury. Every Wednesday, we break down politics, and like Bomber does in a very casual, very cool way. And politics, very hot space to be playing in. And that guy's kicking a ball around every Wednesday. And plus, he's got a podcast Mondays, but he'll tell you more about that. It's a bit highbrow and high budget. So anyway, we've got our man here, Benny Mack. How are you, mate? Fresh from live on K Road last night, getting himself a burger at the White Lady.
Bloody brilliant. I'm getting a slight audio anomaly, but I think that the technical team are all over it. That was great. And in fact, I went to another burger joint today on Ponsonby Road, the brand new Better Burger store.
Well. Impressed?
I was impressed. Great service, a great product, and it was reasonably priced too. A bit cheaper than the White Lady burger.
Wow, sorry about that, mate. I don't know what that was. What happened there, guys? What's going on?
I thought that was one of those like real sort of quick sort of like radio interviews, you know? Well, that was short and sharp.
Sure. Hey, but okay. Well, let's talk burgers a bit later on. But you were here to monitor the interview. I want to bring in our guy, Robert Bradbury. What do you got there?
Well, that's the burger menu. That's the burger menu. Yes. And I just thought I'd, zhuzh it up a bit since they didn't spend a lot on printing, so I coloured it in a little bit as well.
Fantastic. Great effort. Yeah. Lovely.
Okay. I could read this book all day.
I bet you can. And you can. Our special guest has arrived. Oh, Martin Bradbury.
Yeah. I wanna see a Benny Mack does burgers live.
Yeah, well, last night he did.
Right. Where he just goes out and he gets free burgers.
Yeah.
He just live streams the ordering, the waiting, the talking, interviewing and then the eating of the burger. I think we need to help him pay the bills.
Yeah, absolutely. You up for that, mate? I think it's a great idea. What do you reckon?
Oh, mate. Well, I could do that. I've actually been practicing for over 30 years eating burgers almost daily. So I know a lot about burgers, and I tell you, it's exciting times.
The White Lady Bomber is an actual shop on St. Kevin's Arcade now. So they've got the same old caravan downtown by Showgirls, but they've got an actual store now, which is pretty incredible.
It's one of those beautiful places inside Auckland that's worth knowing about and going to late at night.
Absolutely.
In my eyes, gentlemen.
Yeah, and it's open till 2 a.m. weeknights, and on Saturday morning, Sunday morning, Friday night, Saturday night, open till 4, I believe.
4 a.m.
And the place is immaculate. It's got like an A-star food rating, and I tell you, the staff are friendly and generous.
Generous. Who could ask for anything more? Thank you very much, mate. We'll check in with you in Burger Chat a bit later on in the program. It's the White Lady, world famous burgers. Fantastic. Okay, so mate, a week in politics. I more than think. I think the new national leader, boy oh boy, is he wowing the country. This guy has got this guy. He's got a little bit of show, a little bit of Dancing with the Stars. He's got a little bit of Mastermind, and a little bit of Lifestyle of Rich and Famous.
It's funny, isn't it? Because he's been sold as the second coming of Christ. That he's this amazing leader. He's so good. He's so much better. And it's like, I think we need to just remind ourselves the couple of previous National Party leaders were so bad. I mean, the only reason he looks this good is because in comparison, he managed to get to the lectern without falling over, exploding, and lacerating some boxing children. That's the only reason, right? Because everyone else was so bad before him. So
we mustn't look back, though, Bomber. We mustn't look back. We must look forward. And I look forward this weekend. I went and got myself a haircut, and the hairdresser said to me, "You've come in for a Luxon, haven't you?" And I said, "Absolutely, give me one right now." So, I mean, I feel $1 million. Make that 20.
I think that's ultimately what Luxon is about, right? He is a great sales pitch for an overseas vacation that you're never going to be able to afford. And I think that there's a great story, an urban legend about John Key, and before he launched his candidacy, they wanted to know how much money, and they put a poll out in the field, how much money was too much money before New Zealanders felt, you stole that money, didn't you? And the amounts were 50 million, 100 million, 150 million, and 200 million. Now, it's rumoured that Key's worth 200 million. Overwhelmingly, Kiwis in the urban all said no, 50 million. If you earn over 50 million, you didn't earn it, you stole it. And so when John Key launched, he was rumoured to be worth 50 million. That's how they launched him. And he always dressed down, and he always knew and understood that New Zealanders have this love-hate relationship with wealth. 50 million, you earned it, good for you. Salt of the earth sort of people. More than 50, no, you probably stole it. And the problem for Luxon is that for him, his blessings have all been given to him because of Jesus. And so he boasts about those blessings, just like Brian Tamaki does. And he won't shy away from the luxury life that he has, because those are the blessings of Jesus. And so I think ultimately he's going to be a very empty salesman to an electorate that he's going to find very difficult to reach, I think.
Well, you're only thinking. I think he's got a real shot at leading the National Party to victory. I'm not sure if I want them to win, but I feel like most New Zealanders are just dissatisfied with our current operator. And But I think you know how many have they got? How many years in are they? Is there an election next year or the year after?
The election is in 2023.
Right, it just feels like they've done 2 years already. You know, feels like they're at their last year, and we're just like, give us an election already.
I think here's where I think it's. I mean, here's where I think that it's problematic for him. Okay, Labor took 200,000 mainly 45-year-old women away from National in 2020, and Luxon has to appeal to those voters, those women voters, and those women voters, they see in Jacinda someone that they want to be, a leader that they are inspired, they are empowered by. And a rich CEO who is a Handmaid's Tale level anti-abortionist trying to win over that group of women, but I don't see it happening. So then you would argue, okay, if he can't win the woman, what about the men? Well, let's go have a look at the male vote. That ACT party, 18 to 49 male, is through the roof, right? And I would argue that the numbers are so great, that's not just a protest vote. That's a philosophical change of direction for those males. And will Christian Dad win them back to National? I don't think they will. I don't think Christian Dad will win those 18 to 49 angry white men who are voting ACT right now are still taking him.
We haven't seen what arsenal he's carrying. We haven't seen a lot of policy. That's
because he doesn't have any. That's because he doesn't have any.
He will have policy. It's going to happen.
He
hasn't shown his cards yet.
I think Jesus has told him that he's going to run and win, and so he's off on his little adventure with his magical and flying.
You are playing up all the stereotypes.
Yeah, well, why not? Why not?
This is what happened to Todd Muller. This is what happened to Todd Muller. The media dragged him down, so his anxiety.
Muller imploded. Judith imploded. The only reason Luxon has won. The only reason Luxon has won is because he's not Simon Bridges. That's the only reason. It's not because he's the best person.
Can I just say, let's go back to the female vote.
Yeah.
When we're going through school and we've met girls that we've liked, and maybe they're a little bit younger or whatever, they've always gravitated to the aspirational fella. He's a little bit older. He's self-sufficient. He's got the cool car. He's got disposable income to take and wine and dine you. You know what I mean? They love, I don't want to say sugar daddy, but they love someone who's got their shit together. And clearly, this guy Luxon has. And should we be putting down his achievements and success? We live in a country of opportunity. We're entrepreneurs, we're hustlers, and we're very aspirational. So, I mean, I think there are a lot of people who love
we are absolutely those things, but we're also a people who's just gone through a unique event like COVID, which bound us all together and created a solidarity that we forgot about. And Jacinda has kept us safe. She has kept the hospitalisation rates down, and she's been able to provide summer. I think that once people get out into the summer that they've been promised, that grumpiness and that frustration and that tiredness with it all will go, you know what, she did a pretty good job. And I still think there's a gratitude vote out there that will give Labour the 2023 election. Because
I'm sure
they got us through Delta.
Your hope is that's going to be the kind of chatter casually around the food bank this summer. Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to be talking about Luxon.
Let's go through the messages here. Ryan says, what has Luxon done to deserve the optimism of what he'll do with National? Interesting. Ryan Abbott, ACT is the new bro party. I think ACT has got its act together, that's for sure. And Luxon is a possum in headlights. Ardern's going to chew him up big time. How do you think they went in Parliament?
Look, he is doing an absolute solid job of being a reasonable opposition, right? He said the right things. He didn't screw it up amazingly. You know, look, compared to the horror show that it's been for the last 2 years, he's a breath of fresh air. But I don't believe ultimately they know where New Zealand wants to go. See, Luxon wants to talk about, you know, small government and getting out of the way and letting this go and da-da-da-da. People don't want to hear about small government when they're terrified and frightened of a plague that they haven't seen before. People are running to the state for protection. They're not running away from the state. So I think ultimately National still don't know what it is they stand for other than stopping Labour from being in power. And until they actually come up with a reason why those 45-year-old women, those 200,000 who left National in 2020 and went to Jacinda in such huge and solid numbers, how does Luxon coax them back? And I just don't think he can, and I don't think he's going to win the male votes back from ACT. Where I do think he'll get a bump in the polls very, very early on is if you look at New Zealand politics, there's always about 4.5% of the Christian vote which just gets wasted because none of the vote goes to anywhere that they're able to get over 5%. So he'll actually gain, I think, a Christian vote will come to National because he's such an overt Christian, and he'll get a slight bump, a couple of points, but that will be because they're bringing more people into the vote.
I heard Luxon on national radio saying he's a non-practicing Christian.
Oh, well, I think that they're...
He's not been to church in years.
Whatever. Look. You can believe whatever you like. I don't care. That's your right. You're absolutely fine to do that. But when you're making decisions using science to decide social policy, I want to know whether or not the person making that decision believes the earth is 7,500 years old and has a literal interpretation of the Bible and believes that the end times are coming. See, I want to know whether or not someone believes crazy things like that and speaks in tongues. That matters to me. That's something I'd go,
Bobby, you're pitching him as Ron Hubbard, is it the right guy? Is it the Scientology guy, Isogenics, what was it? I'm not sure. You take an IQ test.
Dialectics. Yeah.
Ron Hubbard, that's right. Yeah.
But evangelical Christianity believes some wacky stuff, right? Yeah. That the end times are coming.
You're doing this. You're pushing on them, and you're playing it up. You're just scaremongering.
I'm concerned. I just want to know. I want to know.
Daniel writes, how aggressive will ACT be in negotiating a coalition? What's your thoughts on that?
Oh my God! You talk to any of the ACT people, they are fucking focused like laser beams. They want change. They don't just want to change a government. They want to change in the direction of the government. If there is a negotiation between ACT and National, ACT will get everything they want and then some. Then some.
Okay. Another question here. Selena's saying there are some extremist Christians. Not every Christian is like that.
Of course not. Most Christians are beautiful, loving people. I know many. They're wonderful. They reach out to you. They say, amen and blessings to you. But then there's some crazies. There are people who believe in crazy stuff. And Chris Luxon went to the upper room, which was a very elite evangelical Christian church. And they believe some wacky things up there. And I think it matters if you're making decisions for everyone, whether or not those decisions are being influenced by wackiness. I do. I think it's important.
Darren writes, Bomber's worst nightmare, Luxon Seymour government 2023. What do you reckon?
Oh, I think that National and ACT joining forces and winning the election would see a cavalcade of fundamental change and a right-wing revolution, the likes we probably haven't seen since Roger Douglas in power with the Labour Fourth government. It would be an incredibly radical right-wing government. And this is, again, one of the reasons why I think it's going to be so difficult for Luxon to be able to win over those centrist female voters from Labour, because a Luxon-Seymour government would be so hard right. If you implemented half of ACT's policies, you'd start an actual race war. One of their policies is to remove all the Māori electorate seats. Do you think Māoridom would simply accept having their seats taken off of them by ACT? No, they wouldn't. There'd be a bloody civil war. So when your policy platform might actually start off a civil war, I think voters will back off. I think that will scare the bejesus out of the middle.
Yeah, okay. Tina Aroha writes, the people don't vote. These Freemasons have already elected that person. Thank you very much.
Good point.
If Luxon was a potential date, financially stable, smooth talk with a smile, bald, can be sexy, not bad, then he opens his mouth and it's all downhill from there. I don't think that's fair. I think everything he said this week is pretty much on brand for National. I think he's done a very, very good job. He just needs to continue to right the ship. Hayden Brown, is Luxon named after the soap? Thank you, Hayden. Tina Arena's back. Tina Arahart, no way to Luxon. He's another John Keys. John had a very successful run in government. He left on his own accord. What else have we got? Ryan, will National decide to turn on ACT after all National has given ACT its electorate all these years? Will National get jealous?
Well, here's the problem politically for National, right? If they try and outright ACT by going out there with some crazy over-the-top redneck nonsense to try and take votes off ACT, again, that's going to scare the bejesus out of that female middle electorate, right? Who will just go, I am certainly not voting for these nutters. So if National tries to outburn right-wing crosses with ACT, they lose that centre ground. But if they just chase the centre ground, they're going to get hit by not being able to pick up any points from ACT. So it's a very difficult job that Luxon now has to play to appease his angry voting.
He's got a lot of material. I mean, Jacinda has, yes, followed the rules strictly. And yes, COVID could have been a mess here, but hasn't been a mess here. Oh, yep, there's the soap. Luxa,
Yep.
gotcha. But come on, mate. He's got a lot of material to work with, right? I mean, she hasn't delivered on anything that's not COVID. And even when she was given the opportunity to let us out early, Ministry of Health guy, short fellow with the glasses, says, let them go, let's go to orange light, let's go and do that. She didn't do it. She was just like, nah, let's play it really cautious now, even though the hospitals weren't overrun, numbers were decreasing. It's not about
but we didn't want to see the possibility of this getting into under-vaccinated communities around the country. And by stretching it out a couple of weeks, we get those vaccination rates up. Yes, it's been ultra cautious, but you've got to be ultra cautious with a fucking vaccine, with a virus like this. Once it gets away from you, it's all bloody over. So yes, they've been overtly cautious, but you are also absolutely right. She hasn't delivered on housing. She hasn't delivered on poverty. She hasn't been able to deliver on wage conditions. She certainly hasn't been able to do anything about affordable housing. We have real problems with our public education system. We have real problems with our public health system. A lot of the work that needs to be done to get New Zealand working again and healthy again just hasn't been done because everything's been on COVID. But to be fair, I can't imagine many governments who have been able to continue their other agendas while protected from COVID, right? This comes back to she did a good job,
Yeah, I mean, in the United States, Biden couldn't sort the COVID thing out, so that's run away on him.
Yeah.
And he told Americans he could, and that was a huge political mistake. No one trusts the guy now. But he has sorted out a couple of the other things that he said he was going to do. So he puts himself in I don't know if he's even going to survive another run. I'm not sure. So you're calling it a Labour government, aren't you, after 2023?
My feel is that it will be a Labour Green government in 2023.
What's happened to the Greens? Are they still operating? Is their mailbox all clogged up? Are they returning calls? They got a heartbeat, a pulse?
The Greens, they're so engrossed in identity politics and so engrossed in calling each other out on identity politics and so engrossed in intersectionism as a base position from which they start from. They're so involved in that everything else just seems to have gone past them. They're a pressure valve for the left now. In terms of being able to achieve anything, not really. They want to have lots of hooies, lots of hugs.
Who is the core of the Green membership? Who's voting for these turkeys?
It's very young. It's millennial. It's middle class people, the kids of wealthy National Party parents who rebelled against mum and dad, but couldn't go all the way over to Labour, and so went to the Greens instead. Very aesthetic, very middle class, very well educated, insufferable, totally insufferable, and capable of playing the hard game that is politics. Too nice. And I think in negotiating anything with Labour post the 2023 election, they'll get nothing. Because they're just not very good at it.
Do you think Chloe will end up being the leader?
I think Chloe has to be the leader. I think if there's any hope for the for the Greens whatsoever, it's Chloe as leader, and allowing her to direct some of the policy and some of the negotiation. She's hard as steel. And she's the real mustard. She can
run rings around people, right? She's a great speaker.
Amazing. She's and very articulate, very intelligent, and she's across policy stuff. So I think that she's the future. She's absolutely the future.
If Ardern decides not to run as leader next election, she's off to the UN to make some bank. How will that affect the next election, do you reckon, from Daniel?
There's a lot of talk about what she's intending to do and whether or not she'd stick it through a third term. My feel, and this is just me, but my feel is that she is actually quite competitive, and the idea of beating Helen Clark's 3 years and going for 4, I think would be something that she would certainly be interested in, and then seeing where the dice, where things land after that. But also, I think the timing, if she was going to go for the UN, she'd probably want to wait a couple of turns right now and make a play of it as the first female in 4 years' time. I think that's probably where she would want
Do
to
you think
go.
she would take a knighthood or a damehood or whatever? Do you think she'd be Dame Jacinda Ardern and we'd have like a Sir Clark Gayford? Do you think that would be on the cards? Do you think that type of people?
I don't think she is actually.
Right.
I think she'd turn that down. I don't think she'd take a damehood. And although everybody would want her to, I don't think that she'd take. I just don't think that's her. I don't think that's her. And in terms of Clark, he's never struck me as someone who would want a title like that either.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, let's check in with Benny Mack, our fact checker now. Benny, off you go, sir. What have you got going on there?
Yeah. So Luxon, obviously, we've realised that he is the analogy of a cleaning product, and obviously there's a lot of it's sort of what the programming that the elites are doing at the moment. They're using symbology. So this is a metaphor for cleaning out the house. He's obviously a former CEO of what's it called, Unilever. So he's using that leverage to universally lever you. It's a changing of the guards, and I've got a feeling that Sir Clark would actually go for it. He would like to be knighted. We all know he likes spears and knives and things. So I think knighting would be really nice. I mean, Jacinda Ardern, hasn't she got like a frigate named after her? So if you got a freaking frigate, I reckon hanging out with the Queen, that's the next honourable step, isn't it?
You want to get one with the Queen, you better hurry up, I reckon. Jeepers creepers if you're going to do that. Let's go through the comments. Ryan Abbott, yes, Green has moved away from Green and has tried to put out Liberal and Labour Party to get votes. Chloe cares about some of the old school stuff like Herb, but it's all about social issues and not so much about deep Green, blah, 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 ideology. So, yeah, I suppose they have gone a little off-brand. They got a bit boring, you know what I mean? It looks like it's like Saatchi and Saatchi gave them some branding and stuff, and now they've kind of like withdrawn their free, hospitality, and they're on their own, and now it's done by committee, all in Paint, Microsoft Paint. It's really disappointing. Izzy Beer, we're over there. By the way, nice to see you guys live and covering off different perspectives. Thank you very much. Another quick one message here. What's the strategy for Luxon moving forward? Chase the working class like Key? I say yes. I think we haven't seen. He hasn't even shown his cards yet. This is early days, so I think he's going to be out there really campaigning. But he's got an essence of leadership. That is a leader. He looks like a leader, and he looks like a winner. So
he's. I think it's difficult for National to credibly argue we will lift the underclass up because we're still very remembering of how John Key put the underclass in there and bedded it in. And I don't think that they'll be able to fight on social issues. I think they'll have to try and fight on the things that made people grumpy about Labour. And I think they'll try and hold on to those things rather than promising any great, I can't see them promising 50,000 affordable houses or anything like that, or more money.
Maybe they're going to blow your mind and actually come through with something like that. Have you thought about that?
Well, hey, look, sure, they might, but based on their past history and based on what he's come up with so far.
Can you judge National by its past now?
Well, I think you judge political parties by their past, absolutely. I don't think that he just walking into that suddenly changes everything. I think they'll have
his new broom, he got elected undefeated type thing. Is like, this is the guy who's going to be it. They had a chart. He's a new guy. Everything about him is new. I think they're just going to. Maybe they need a new logo as well. Maybe drop the blue. You got a problem with blue, don't you?
It's like a pilot being at Air New Zealand for a year and then saying, "Okay, I've been here a year. I want to be the CEO now." And everyone going, "Okay, make him the CEO." Same thing with Luxon. He's been there 1 year, and he's now the leader.
You know who reminds me of? Jacinda Ardern. Didn't she win it out of a lucky dip as well?
I think there was a phenomenal difference between Jacinda getting the position and Luxon getting the position. Luxon got the position because Judith Collins' spite nutters sided up with the Liberal mullah traitors to spite vote Luxon in so that it would screw Simon Bridges over. Luxon's leadership is built upon malice, cowardice, and spite. That's the winning combination for National. It's a winning combination.
Yeah, I mean, Jacinda, it was one of those, they put a loser up. Was it Shearer? Oh, no, it was the other guy, wasn't it? Shearer was one.
Shearer, Cunliffe, Riddle.
They didn't have a leader, and then they kind of just said, hot potato, give it to her. She's some advertising agency or consultant said, you got to put Jacinda up. Now's her time. Let's do this. And
boom, it was. But she'd been an MP for 3 terms before that.
No one knows anything about being a real government. They had no experience at it, but they swept into power, did nothing, wasted a lot of time and money. And then COVID came along and saved their asses. And because she's such an incredible communicator and so well media trained and tuned, her brand has literally saved her.
Yeah.
You know? So
Lucky her.
Yeah.
And whereas Luxon turning up, it's slick, it's flash, it's like a sales pitch for a BMW. It's got that kind of warmth to it. But beyond it, you go, I can't afford a fucking BMW. Why am I staring at this advert again? And that's the reality. I can't afford what he's selling. But
never stop being aspirational. That's the thing, Bomber. Keep working hard, striving. You'll get there one day. It might not be a new one, but you'll get yourself that BMW. Hey, Maxa, how many of the women vote can Luxon keep if they aren't anti-abortion? Is he anti-abortion, or what's his deal? What's his deal there? I genuinely don't know, Bomber. Is he anti-abortion?
Oh shit! He's because his evangelical happy clappy throw your hands in there like you just don't care, bathed in the blood of Lamb of Jesus. I mean, no, they all Handmaid's Tale level anti-abortionist, and I just don't see that having any appeal to 45-year-old woman living in the provinces who like buying an electric car. Right? I don't see any appeal there. They're going to look at it and go, no thanks. And I just don't see him winning votes back from ACT. So it's, they might get to 32. That's it.
Hey, having Luxon in the spotlight hasn't done amazing things for David Seymour, but everybody's improved their game, right? Great day in Parliament when everyone went head-to-head. Everyone was articulate and pretty sharp. I think Jacinda blew them all away at the end of the day. That's what the papers say anyway. But everyone's up their game. Do you think, how hard is David Seymour really going to try? I mean, because he could wrestle. He could throw a couple of memes out, right, and wrestle some spotlight back. That guy's going to have to work triple hard now, isn't he?
I think that when we get into next year's free speech debacle, and this is just going to be awful, when we get there and the left put up all of their activist base and they come forward and they say, this is what we are going to determine as hate speech, and suddenly the police are going to be knocking on your door asking you, Thane Kirby, when you wrote in 2016 on Facebook, what was in your heart? Did you have hate in your heart, Thane? Because it's hate speech if you had hate in your heart. So, and people will not understand why the fuck the police are turning up on their door asking them about things they've posted years ago on social media. Because that's what the law will allow for, people to dob you into the police and have them investigate you for things that you've said on Facebook. Now we all know that the way
we're talking about a Labor government, though, right?
Yeah, this is the Labor government, right?
Yeah.
This is going to happen under the Labor government, and I think that ACT is going to tear that to shreds.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to own that issue. I think that they have been owning that issue for the last 3 years. I think that the woke activists keep handing the right wing all this hate speech ammunition, which they fight back at us, and people will freak out about hate speech laws where you can be criminalised and put in jail, for God's sakes.
Mm.
So I think that ACT is going to tear that issue up next year, and that's where they will eclipse National. They'll actually take votes off. I mean,
we're living in some weird socialist, communist, control freak government, but we don't get any of the good stuff.
I wish we were.
Yeah, but I know you do, but we're not getting any of the good stuff that comes with everybody being the same, blah, 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 right? We're getting all the control part.
Where's the free education and the free health, right? The good stuff.
Where's the New Zealand supermarket? Where's my right to afford a house? Where's my education? Where's all my... We don't get any of the good stuff. We just get the control.
It's all the low-hanging fruit of identity politics. And because that's the current frisson and that's what the activist base are all excited about, everything is focused in there rather than building more houses, making sure jobs are more secure, making sure people have, their rights protected, making sure, like the benefits of being a citizen, right? And all we want to do is expand new powers to whack people we don't like with. And that's just, that's not what the fucking state's supposed to be there for. It's supposed to be bettering people's lives, not whacking people for shit,
Hey, and also the fact that, what was I going to say, that if we talked about natural remedies for COVID as opposed to an alternative to vaccination, I'm double jabbed. But listening to people who aren't double jabbed, and they're making, they've got a debate. Some want are waiting for more natural stuff as opposed to all the stuff they're putting in that vaccination. If we went down a rabbit hole on this subject, it would be this video would be deleted from YouTube. The control extends to the message, and the message from this government and the world is immunisation, and that's it. There's no looking at alternatives. News media will not look at any types of alternatives or invite or open that kind of conversation. Do you think that's a bit weird?
I think that it is exceptionally dangerous when you have the state stepping in with the power to decide what can be and can't be discussed. I think that's an incredibly fucking slippery slope, right? Because we've seen governments use these powers externally and overseas. And it's not about bloody shutting down debate that's endangering people. It's about shutting down criticism of the government. I think that we've got to trust ourselves to have the spaces where people can talk about what they want to talk about and bring up issues that they want to bring up. And be part of a media landscape that is a true liberal progressive democracy, and that means that you are tolerant of people's views that you disagree with, right? Now, I don't agree with a lot of anti-vaxxers. I've read a lot of their arguments. I've read a lot of the stuff. I don't believe they understand the science that they're talking about. I think that a lot of their ideas have been put together by algorithms that have generated that stuff, and people are really going deep. I think there are better explanations as to what's going on than a shadowy one world government who's using 5G technology to spread a virus around. But we should be able to have a robust enough space and place where those discussions can be had, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want the government stepping in and going, this is allowed, this isn't allowed. And unless obviously that the content is in of itself illegal, child pornography, violence, that sort of thing. But in terms of ideas and people being able,
when you say government, can you say Labor government as well? Can you just?
Yeah, right. Well, hey, look, any government, right? This is not just I don't want a Labor government or a national government or an ACT government having those kind of powers. But we do need to have rules that keep vulnerable members of our society safe, right? And I think that we can do that.
Yes.
But we can do that in a way that also protects free speech.
Okay. Thank you very much, mate. It's been very nice talking to you.
Always, my friend.
We'll see you again. Hey, give your MediaWorks-owned podcast,
7:30 live on the Daily Blog. This week's show, it's the end of the year special with Dr. Bryce Edwards and Jerry Brownlee.
Oh, God. Okay. Well done, mate. You deserve it. Thank you very much. All the best. See ya.
Hey, mate. All right.
Bye-bye. Talkback with Thane and Sophia wants to put you in the draw for a box of Love a Pie pies. Here's the incentive. We want to grow this beautiful community. All you got to do is share the show. Share the show on Facebook. One share is one entry into a delicious box of Love a Pie pies that will draw this Friday. Just rounding off Bomber there at 9:41. Your hot take on that, Benny boy?
Oh my God! Yep, it's all down to the AI. I mean, I've been down to PB Tech here. They know what's happening. We're going to plug in all the themes for tonight's show into the algorithm, and it's just horrifying what we've got out. It looks like the future is bleak. However, if we give up and give in to the algorithm, if we basically surrender ourselves to the algorithm, it will spare us for now.
Gotcha. Thanks, mate. We'll check in a bit later on. G'day, Tim Richards. How's it going?
Hey, Thane, Kirby. How are you?
Good, mate. I was just talking politics there, casually, you know.
I quite enjoyed it, actually. A lot of those comments from Bomber I agreed with.
Yeah.
They made a lot of sense.
Yeah, he does make a lot of sense. But, you know, it's boring if he says the same thing every week. So I've got to kind of, like, give him a little bit of what for.
Mix him up, throw him a few curveballs. Yeah, I appreciate that.
If you just joined us, everybody, we're with Tim Richards here, DJ, producer. And were you booking, like, artists for festivals and stuff?
Yeah, that was in a former life. Yeah, I was working at Rhythm and Vines in a former life. And now I've made the transition to traffic management, which is a complete normal career path from nightclubs to road cones.
Absolutely.
It's totally normal to me.
Fantastic. Look at all those records behind you. Holy moly.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
So they're slowly taking over the house.
Any kids or anything like that? What's happened in the last? I haven't seen you in like years.
No, there's a dog floating around here somewhere.
Are you still with the running?
Yes. Still my kind of sanity, I guess.
Fantastic.
The best way to describe it.
And what about who do you catch up with? Have you seen anybody we know?
A bit, but only kind of when I'm out working. So obviously, DJ wise hasn't really happened for the last few months. Mr. Booker, Mr. Leon D, Lee, your mate Lee every now and then. Asher from George a little bit as well. But yeah, I guess so. Kind of only when I'm out, I tend to be that guy that, you know, it's quite funny, ironic. Years ago, I used to walk out of Ink Bar at 8 a.m. and look at the runners and go, "What the hell are you doing?" And now I'm the guy running past Ink Club, walking out. The people come out and go, "What the hell are you doing?" So life's kind of done a bit of a circle.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I've seen. I think Lee and Bevan I've spoken to on the phone and whatnot. But it's been just a very. I think everybody's kind of kept to themselves. Well, we've been forced to keep to ourselves.
You'd hope so. Yeah. I remember when I had a radio show before Clark, which was hilarious.
Exactly, you did. Absolutely.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And so are you DJing up there at all, or?
No, I do still a little bit at St. Alice, probably 2 or 3 times a month now.
That's a great place.
Yeah, it's a great little spot. I mean, I'm continually buying records now. It's a hobby, so for me, it's all about having an opportunity to showcase all this stuff back here.
And what is so the people who are new to you, what is your style of music? What's your genre? What are you loving still?
Mate, it goes all the way from like house, which obviously I've been doing for a very, very long time, through to gospel stuff, to funk, soul, disco. So like I just kind of enjoy a chance to share music that I like. Really, it's not. I don't really try and overcomplicate it. I did that for a very, very long time in my younger days, and now it's just like, look, these are records that I like, and I get to play them, and that's pretty cool.
Well, that's great. And what about St. Alice has got that? They've only got vinyl players, don't they?
That's all I. I don't bother with anything digital these days. I'm just collecting records and playing records, really.
Gee, how about that? In a world of digital, you've gone the other way.
You know, I've never conformed to the normal thing. You know that.
That's true.
Yeah, at least I'm being consistent. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. If anyone's been consistent, it's bloody well you.
Exactly.
No, I do miss having, kind of. I was doing radio for a wee while, and then I kind of left to go to Bali, and kind of, I spent about a year there, I think, and then I was like, it was just too hot. I sweated constantly, and I didn't have anything.
You're not built for heat, though, are you, Thane?
No way! Oh my god! And so I'm back here now, and doing this kind of thing. So yeah, it's good. Yeah, absolutely.
No.
I'm enjoying it. Life's good. Do you find, are you going out now that everything's open?
Well, it was quite interesting. I was in Christchurch for work last week while Auckland was still in level 3, and I went out for a couple of beers while I was like, mate, I'm in Christchurch. It would be kind of rude not to go out for a beer. So that was nice. But I went to I was in Bunnings not long after it opened up. And there was this weird sense of social anxiety because, COVID's going to be in the room somewhere. But that wasn't when I didn't have that sense of social anxiety when I was in Christchurch. So going out a bit, like first time DJing this weekend, which will be fun. But yeah, not charging out.
The problem is when everybody gets intoxicated, masks come off, the check-ins don't kind of happen, people need to be prompted, that type of stuff. And that's when I kind of I had a big Sunday session, and that's when it was like,
that's unlike you.
Yeah, still doing it. So it's like, oh god.
You're consistent too, mate. There you go. Well done.
Exactly. I think I've got one of the longest running residencies in New Zealand music history.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
But yeah, so when people are really drunk, it all goes out the door. And that's kind of when I reckon COVID sneaks in, you know what I mean? I think that's the opportunity. It's like that sneaky ex-girlfriend in the back room, and when they see those slurry texts, she'll oh, hey, how are you? Hey, yeah, exactly. Hey. Yeah, but also there's just so many unlinked cases that it's like, it's out there. And so I think people have just got to continuously keep on top of it, right? Yeah, it's a very, in the industry that I work in now, it's a very real thing. We've got people within our business that have chosen not to be vaccinated, which is perfectly fine. And we need to learn how to manage that. I had an interesting experience. We were going to go to paintball for our Christmas party this weekend. And obviously our group is too big to go to paintball. So he gave us two options. Either you've got one option, only vaccinated people can come, or the other option is you can have two teams, one vaccinated, one unvaccinated. And I was like, that's really tempting, but that's not the game we should be playing. So we're just going to go to the beach and have a few beers. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah. And I tell you what, though, there are people who are not going to get the jab. Who are losing their jobs. I know a couple of people, if they've got to get rid of people or downsize, it's the anti-vaccinated people that go first. And life is getting real small for them. They can't go to the gym, they can't do this, they can't go to Christmas parties, and jobs that they've had. This guy's got a job for 17 years with the same company. Yeah. And because he won't go for it, it's over for him. Yeah. We've got Benny. He's standing by here. This is our fact check. I'll just bring him back in the show. Benny, what's happening there, mate?
Yeah, buddy. Well, I hear what you're saying about people, having to change jobs and this, that, and the other. I tell you, some people are really happy in their jobs, and I tell you, unemployment's, I guess, is it at an all-time high? I don't know. But anyway, check this out. Spotted in Kaikoura, the happiest road worker in New Zealand.
Wow, look at this. Oh, that person waving. I see what's happening. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
That's job satisfaction,
But look where she is as well. How could you not be happy in that location?
I think she's just enjoying an opportunity to just really spread a bit of that aroha.
Yeah, it's my worst nightmare though. That looked like 26 degrees heat, going 30, and all those clothes, that jacket. I'd say you're moving just to get some air and ventilation.
At least it wasn't Bali, mate. Imagine being a road worker in Bali. You'd be. Mind you, I don't really think they have such a thing over there. To be fair,
they got this thing in Bali. It's called Nepi. and it's a festival for some god or something or other. And for 2 days, they switch the national internet off, and you can't make calls in and out of the bloody place. They would try to do the power, but so many people would die. And you can't leave your house, and there's police patrolling, and you're going to spend 2 days inside with the ones you love. And
that sounds like lockdown.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. They were doing lockdown way before us doing lockdown, So
that's typical Bali. You do everything there first and then bring it back home.
And it's run by cartels, and and then you can buy your way out of prison if you want. You can have day passes. That's easy. And if you're in prison, and I'm not saying I'm talking about maybe low-level drugs, marijuana.
Yeah.
I mean, if you pay the guy off at the door, you go across the road to the bakery, grab a couple of things to eat, and come back in, and then.
Can we just clarify? You said you've been in Bali. Is this a first-hand experience, or do you just something Dave Hull told you, or something like that? It sounds like something Dave Hull would do.
Oh, absolutely. Dave's good. He now works for a radio station called Today FM, and he's an executive producer for Duncan Garner, who kicks off his show in the new year. He's doing well. He's still in the business, which is bloody good. Nice. Lasted longer than me, which is good. Anyway, so St. Alice, this what day? So we possibly come down?
This Friday, the 10th, and then the 23rd as well. 23rd will be crazy in town. Like everyone will be finishing work. It'll be mental.
Oh, very good. And what about, in your day job, you're doing traffic management. Is that literally like the traffic?
Yeah, so I'm the general manager for a traffic management company in Auckland.
Oh, shit, because I was driving through Albany and there is... They're pulling up the road.
So is this the part where you blame me for you being late home?
No.
This is all I get. If I go out for a beer, like, oh, what do you do for work? Oh, it's your fault. You did this. You did that.
They shut the bloody motorway, and then on the way down to this, like the Albany, there's a long stretch from the Albany village up to the motorway. Tonight it's been blocked off, but it was really cool because I got this big machine that looks like a dinosaur, which is chewing up the road and then spinning it into another big truck, which I thought, that's cool. Yeah. And then they've got all the traffic management guys in their big trucks putting the cones out, putting that sign out, and making it all happen. They got the walkie-talkies going. You know what? I reckon I love the fact that New Zealand is working at night. Remember they used to work let's start at 9 or 6 in the morning, and then, Sydney had it the right idea when they do stuff overnight. Very good. Yeah.
A funny story about that in a bar with my job. I had an experience in a bar once, and someone asked me what I did for a job, and I told them, and they said, "Oh, we've done round the bays and this is this." And she said, "Oh yeah, when I was at round the bays, someone towed my car." And I was like, "Yeah, it was me."
Yeah. Why is that though? I mean, what happens? I remember we used to have Groove in the Park, right? And they said, "Come on down," and then people would park in the park, not on the grass. I'm saying they'd take legal parks, but they'd still get ticketed. And I'm just thinking, Auckland City puts on all these great events, but likes to tow people all the time.
So for example, for say around the bays, it's a safety thing. So you can't have cars on course. So if you've got, say for example, 35 to 40,000 people coming down the road, and grandma's parked her car there, and she's trying to leave, most of the time it's a safety related thing because moving vehicles and humans don't really mix well.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, well, there must be some money in it. I reckon there's big money in it. Do these guys, these are private companies, It's good, like the council. Yeah, someone's making some big-time cash in traffic management. There's non-stop roadworks. What's the deal? Does the council have to use up money before it expires, or they have to give it back, or what's
so a lot of the major contractors will have contracts with council, and they'll have a term and a dollar value put to that. So that's wavering now and then. There's the squeeze. Oh, let's spend all our money before the next contract, because if we don't spend it all when the next contract comes around, you guys ran a budget last year, we'll give you less.
Oh, right. Okay. So because there's another road that goes out to Beachlands.
I'm not responsible for everything, Thane, okay?
How can this road never be fixed? What is this problem? Like, it has constant roadworks on. I'm going, oh my God. Anyway.
Have you ever stopped and asked them what they're doing?
Oh, well, they're doing nothing. They're sitting on the side of the road with walkie-talkies or sitting down.
Maybe that's why they're always there. They're just chilling. Yeah. The lads are just So there's a good local bakery, and the lads are just having a pie, maybe a lover pie and a nap. Like
exactly. There
yeah,
it is. Well,
yeah.
hey, nice talking to you, mate. Have a great weekend.
You too, sir.
DJing. A great catch up, and I'll see you in the flesh very soon.
Cool. See you, mate. Bye.
All right, see you soon. Tim Richards, everybody. And that is pretty much the show. Just before we leave, I'd like to invite everybody's favourite fact checker back, Benny Mack. There you go. That is my show. That's what I did tonight. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Huge show. And you know what really gets my goat is when these bloody traffic management type tell you that that safety is always a huge concern. But it's just a bloody revenue gathering exercise. Safety's always a fucking excuse.
Yeah.
And they're always trying to just do mediocre work. And they're just and then for the last quarter, they're just rushing to hit budget caps.
Yeah.
And it really gets my goat,
My thing is that, especially when they pick on one road that's the main road in and out of this fucking place, Beachlands, right? If it's always being worked on, it's never finished. And then it's like 6 times a year. They have to redo the road. It's like,
Tell me about it. Man, from 10 till 11, we're going to be talking smack with Benny Mack right here on the broadcast. You don't have to go anywhere. Stay exactly where you are. I'll take care of everything. It reminded me a bit of Tony Soprano. When you asked him what he did and he said traffic management, it sounded a bit like waste management, but this one involves trafficking.
right.
It's a very abstract sort of explanation of what you do for a gig. Anyway, I guess I shouldn't exactly berate the guests, but he was a good guy, top guy. Good sense of humor.
This is our last Wednesday night this year, so we finish the show up on Saturday, everybody. So do get your fill. Don't stick around. We got some viewers on there. Stick around for Benny Mack. Big thanks to Selena, our producer, for putting the show together tonight. Sophia back tomorrow, everybody. Benny Mack to follow. Very good evening to you.
Boom, talking smack with Benny Mack. Man, oh man, we are bringing you another hour. Wow, another whole damned hour of the broadcast. And you can get involved easily. All you have to do is check out the link in the chat. It's right there. And it's available for you right now. So, yep, get involved. Do what you've got to do and make it happen. This is your brother Benny Mack. And tonight we are going to be talking smack. All right, now my green screen was supposed to be working. I spoke to the studio technician. He said restart the emulator, the confabulator, and they said it should go first time every time. So yes, my name is Benny Mack, and we are talking absolute smack tonight. What are the topics you want to talk about? What are the topics that are relevant, relative, or irrespective? Or irritating you? What are those topics that are really getting on your nerves? Or what are you really enjoying? What are you really enjoying? Drop some suggestions in the chat. Tina Aroha tuning in from reopen.nz. Is that where you're tuning in on the broadcast there from Tina Aroha on Facebook? One of our sites, aren't you? You're tuning in on a brilliant community, actually. One of our hubs. Now, this is a unique broadcast because right now we've got to be conscious of where we're broadcasting, because we are broadcasting across multiple platforms. on D Live, on Martin Bradbury's Facebook, on YouTube, on Facebook, on the Daily Blog. Thank you for coming in from the Daily Blog. We see you there, and we appreciate you and your time. On the Thane Kirby Facebook page, don't think you're going unnoticed. We see and appreciate you very much. Okay, Tina Aroha is now on YouTube, and I believe she is watching on the... What page are you watching on there, Tina Aroha? Because we've got people on YouTube watching on Talkback with Thane and Sophia. So if you are watching on YouTube right now, I implore you for getting involved and doing that thing. Or if you're on Facebook, do your damnedest, because YouTube and Facebook seems to be going off right now. And if you're on Twitch, I see you over there on the Talkback Thane Sophia channel. Welcome on board, everybody. We appreciate you for getting down. The link's actually right there, a clickable link. If you would prefer a easily clickable link, you can go to YouTube and is that the link? BennyMack.com / or / Benny Mack. YouTube.com / Benny Mack. Check it out. See if it works. If it doesn't work, just type it into the damned search bar. Okay. And then click channel. Look for it. We've got a promo video. I'm going to play the little thing. Why won't you subscribe? Why won't... So once again, we're doing live interactive chat. Talk back if you want. If not, we're going to start trolling the internet. We're going to do what we do. What is happening in the world today? Let me look in the chat, see if anyone's got any suggestions or anything that they want to discuss this evening. I'm going to cross over to a live picture. Here we go. From Twitter. I don't know if you guys ever do this, but what I like to do is I like to go into twitter.com, log in, and then figure it out, and basically go into trending. And Twitter is kind of like built as a system. It can gauge what's happening, what's being discussed. So I'm just going to cross over into Explore. It's one of the tabs there. And I'm going to now share the screen. Just bear with me as we go into the system and access. Here we go. Boom. I believe we've got access. Let's just check here. I'm just going to check through. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you. All right. Here we go. So we're on Twitter right now, and so what is happening on Twitter today? Well, I'm going to explore Twitter today, and the first thing that comes up is this Netflix dealio with Jennifer Lawrence, and man, oh man, I'm led to believe by the headline that she is heavily pregnant. So congratulations to Jennifer Lawrence. She's going to be a beautiful, stunning mother. And are you telling me that the father is Leo DiCaprio? Because if it is, man, oh man, should we click the link? Should we click the link? We can go back to it. The Ashes. Who's interested in the Ashes 21-22? England and Australia. Looks like the match has been postponed. Germany Christmas. Who would have thought that? Who was expecting the damn match to be postponed? I sure is damned. I sure wasn't. And frankly, Formula One. What about Formula One, guys? Who's into their Formula One? Schumacher is trending. What do we got here? The 62-year-old ex-Ferrari race, Carlos Reutemann, tested that at Fiorano, the F1 car that Michael Schumacher had just driven to World Championship success that past season. Okay, so yeah, it's not entirely clear what exactly history. This is sort of, I guess this is Formula One history, guys.
Michael Schumacher! That didn't work, Michael. You hit the wrong part of him, my friend. Just a few corners to go. Round the left-hander.
Sorry about the loud audio there. Hang on.
Look, Jacques Villeneuve is right up behind the Ferrari. He needs to take the lead in the race and the World Championship.
Very intense.
Villeneuve is all over him, look. He's going through. Oh, yes.
Ooh, contact.
Off goes Michael Schumacher. That didn't work, Michael. You hit the wrong part of him, my friend. Just a few corners to go. Round the left-hander. Mika Hakkinen can see that victory. Beckoning him. And he does it. He's let him through. Hakkinen is going to win. David Coulthard goes second. And Jacques Villeneuve settles for third place.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Wild stuff happening there, obviously. A bit of history, a bit of motorsport history, Formula One. I don't know if any of you have ever attended a Formula One race, but I can imagine, man, oh man, the adrenaline would be cranking. Okay, well, on that note, it seems as if we have got our first official caller of the evening, and an important caller it is, and some would call him merely a gentleman with far too much time on his hands, but other people would call him a special guest. And here he is. It is Hayden. Welcome on board, my guy. What's happening at your neck of the woods?
Yeah, I had to laugh when you said gentleman with far too much time on his hands.
Hey man, I know it's a good show, but it's not that good. No,
Exactly.
no, but seriously, I appreciate you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to get involved with the broadcast. And I don't think it doesn't go unnoticed. I mean, that front end of the show, it was raining its tits off. Right about now, sort of, we brought it down to a more manageable level. And so you're doing well. You're getting into the sort of the season spirit of the whole, season.
Yeah, man. I love the hot weather more than the cold, eh?
Yeah, you're more of a beach than a monsoon kind of guy.
It's just you just got so much more time to be outside and to meet people and stuff.
Yeah, there's sort of a lot more hours in the day, aren't there? Because in wintertime, of course, the sun sets around 4:35 p.m. and
Mate, when I was living in London, it would be like 3 o'clock. It would get dark.
Yeah, it's bizarre that, isn't it?
And,
sorry, guys, I just had a bit of natural honey. And that was just to keep my energy up for this segment in the show. I needed a little bit of help from my furry friends, the honeybee.
Did you see that picture of Madonna's bum?
Oh my God! Didn't you just want to gobble it up? No, I didn't see the picture of Madonna's bum. What's the story? You tell me the story, my guy. I was just trying to go with a shock and awe reaction.
You have to look it up, man.
Madonna's bum.
She's like halfway under the bed. So basically, her ass and her legs are coming out of the bed.
Yeah, copy that. My guy. Yeah, go on. Elaborate.
And it's just like, why the fuck would you post that up?
Apparently, it's the tightest. Some of these people are saying it's the tightest ass they've ever seen on a 52-year-old woman. We're going to bring some of these comments up right now because, I mean, I haven't even seen the booty yet, but I mean, I know it's just one tab away. But this is the way people react. So while in the gym today working out and watching the fit bum of the girl, okay, Madonna's ass.
Yeah, look at the picture. Have a look at the actual picture.
Boom.
No, it's not that one, bro. She's underneath a bed. She's under a bed, and her ass is sticking out.
Yeah, no problem. We're going to do that for you. We can actually make that. Oh, here we go. Is it that one there?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the story with that, buddy?
Exactly.
Are we allowed to show that on here?
Oh, there's worse on Instagram.
Yeah. So, extraordinary times that we're living in. I mean, Madonna's been a whorish woman for generations.
Exactly. And it's like
that's just par for the course with her, isn't it?
Yeah, but you got to look at it, and she's gone to somebody. Hey, this is a good idea for a picture. I'm going to get under the bed, just with my ass showing, with my legs open wide. Can you take a photo?
Extraordinary vision, amazing image. I see the photography there. The director of photography's done well. The lighting, of course, and thematically, it tells a story of a cheap whore that's been disposed of poorly under a bed there in a room. But it confuses to me as what she's trying to perceive in the image. However, it seems as if it's effective because, I mean, we're talking about it now, my guy. So she has.
Yeah, but would you still tap it, or?
I think that's a highly objectionable question, and my wife would not appreciate me. My wife would not appreciate that, but I mean, I don't know what she was doing under there. Maybe she had something under there. It was kind of. It looks to me as if it was one of those candid behind the scenes moments where maybe she dropped something. Maybe she dropped a ring or an earring.
Yeah,
or
she's probably looking for her keys. She's probably looking for her keys.
That could be the case. She might have been actually cleaning. You know, like a lot of people like to put out a good image before they try and, like I clean the place here. As you can see, we try to put out a good image. Maybe she was trying to clean under the bed and the photographer got a bit snappy with the Polaroid and managed to snap out a quick box shot.
She's like, I knew I put that fishing rod that I bought off Trade Me somewhere. I'm sure it's under here. Don't take a picture of us while I'm looking for it.
Yeah. And it's interesting. It's kind of like the way that her legs are sort of resting like that. Looks like she's almost fallen off the side of a building and hit the sidewalk or something.
Very
okay,
exotic.
so we are taking your feedback right now in the live chat, and I've actually got someone here on the chat trying to sell us followers. No, we're not trying to buy followers, my guy. Does my green screen seem to be working, or is it lagging too much? It's working now, yeah.
It's lagging a little bit.
How about now? Boom.
Boom. Right now, it's good.
Boom. Okay, we're gonna work with what we got right now.
It's like hopefully a bookcase and a.
Yeah, it's like this library thing. You know, it's a grand library here. We're just trying to. We're just trying to spread knowledge, share knowledge. So we're going to actually go back over to Twitter, because what I'm going to do is get away from this image here, just so that we don't get completely restricted. But some pretty interesting stuff happening on Twitter. I'm going to bring it up like that. Can you see what I see? What's next on the list? Kim Kardashian. Well, we don't really follow that sort of news.
Why would
William.
Schumacher be trending?
Some amazing race in history. They played back a race from history from 20 years ago or something. We had a look at it previously. We just watched it earlier on the show. Ivermectin is trending in New Zealand again. I wonder why. And what about this? Drake has withdrawn his 2021 Grammy nominations. What do you reckon, man?
Does anyone really watch the Grammys anymore?
I mean, I think they're still pretty important, and I think that they do get quite a good viewership. I think it might be the Emmys that maybe doesn't do as well, or the.
But the thing is, with the Grammys, they got too many categories now. Yeah, so
yeah.
like
I mean,
anyone...
you're right. I mean, it is out of control. Well, I got the inside scoop on this one, man. It's because of the Astroworld, shit. Because he was partying with Travis Scott that night.
I don't think you're right.
Why is that, man?
Because I heard it was because The Weeknd didn't get nominated.
Oh, come on, man. The Weeknd? Do you think Drake cares about the Weeknd?
That's why he's not going to the Grammys.
Okay, should we look into the article and see what the article says?
Yeah.
I mean, I could be completely wrong. Yeah, it says his motivation is unclear at the time. That's what they're telling us. And quite frankly, I could care less about this guy, you know? Quite frankly, his life and his situation really is irrelevant. It's quite irrelevant.
But yeah, it's a competition between us. It's like, is it because of Travis Scott or is it because of The Weeknd?
That's a good question. I could actually Google that. Why? I mean, you know, I think we're going to have to move on, man, because this guy's irrelevant right now to me. I could care less. I could care less. I'm just going to do a skim read here. I'm just going to skim. What's this, Joe Rogan? Is this a Joe Rogan? I saw this on Joe Rogan's Insta story. I can't comply because I want it to end. It's because you comply that it will never end. Okay, well that's an opinion for sure. And
man, that one where you had Recap Dave on three different cameras the other day.
Oh, did you see him last night? He was being a right troublemaker last night.
He's crack up, man.
Oh yeah, he's prolific. He is prolific, and so it seems like what's this Matariki is trending. So what's that telling you? Matarangi holidays. Oh wow! So apparently Simon Luxton called Matariki Rangi holidays. It's Matarangi. Rangi holidays. That's cool. Let's see if we can find it.
When is Matariki? Like what? I thought it was supposed to be November.
Yeah, I think that Luxon talked about it, but really fucked up the way he said it. He's a bit of a thicker like John was, like I think the best for New Zealand, like just the way that they talk, just absolute inbreds, really. I mean, rich, but very inbred.
Yeah, well, he's out my way, man. He's like botany. He's like the botany
Oh,
dude.
is he? Oh,
Yeah.
no shit. Makes a lot of sense. A lot of people out those ways. And money. Quite a bit of money out there, ways, isn't there?
Oh, yeah, there's massive money out in botany.
Isn't there? It's a bit of
No,
expanding,
botany's
yeah.
like Flatbush, you know, like Murphy's Bush. Have you heard
Yeah,
the
but I mean,
stories about
they keep putting like suburbs and after suburb out there, don't they?
Yeah, fucking Flatbush.
It's like edge of town.
Flatbush, now they got Ormiston, now they got everything, like it's building up
That's what I'm
hardcore.
saying.
But
That's what I'm saying.
have you heard about Murphy's Bush?
Murphy? Who's Murphy, mate?
Murphy's Bush is it's a place if you want to go cruising.
Oh, mate. Okay, please elaborate.
So I didn't know this.
Feel free to elaborate.
I didn't know that it was that kind of place. So after work one day, I thought I'm going to go for a bushwalk. I'm going to go this. I'm going to go to this place because I've heard about it. And so I was walking around and stuff, and I got to this clearing,
Right?
and there was a dude at a picnic table with sunnies on, which I did at 6 o'clock at night, just kind of like staring at me.
Okay.
Big Islander guy.
Wow.
And
Huge islander.
yeah, and so I did a mass walk. I didn't see anyone on the trail at all. No, because I was like, it was my first time in there. I didn't know what the fuck. Like, there was seriously, I was like, what the fuck? It's kind of weird.
Spooky.
Did my walk about 45 minutes. I didn't see a person on the trail, and it was kind of weird. It was a weird feeling while you're doing the whole thing. And then got back, same place. Two dudes behind me, and I'm like, oh, okay, finally people. And then I keep walking, and I'm like, oh, I'll try this track because it's like off walking down there, and then I turned around, the dude fucking following me, and I keep walking, and I'm like, dude, know that I've gone the wrong, like I'm definitely not on the track. And yeah, around, he's like always aims behind me, and I was like, this is sketchy as fuck, man. And and then I looked it up on the.
So they were creeping. You were walking around, and they were like walking around behind you and following you around and shit.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna guy by going off the track.
Oh no! And so he said,
which was the worst thing
into the bush.
Which is the worst.
That's fucking hilarious. So what happened? Did he
It's
push you
basically
on
the
the
worst
ground or something?
thing I could have done.
Jesus. And was this the Big Islander?
He just kept walking further to the bush, and I was like,
Hang on, mate.
there was three.
Hang on, buddy. We just got a slight.
And keep walking into the bush and turning around.
Okay, well, I missed a lot of that audio cut out just then, but you seem traumatized by the experience.
Yeah, because I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why is this dude following me into the bush? Like, what's he gonna do? And then when I got home, I googled Murphy's Bush, and I was like, oh, okay, it all makes sense now. People have been arrested there.
Creepy, yeah.
Yeah, it's a place
so
for
they
like
should
men
be. I think
cruising.
that's quite.
So like the further into
that's
the bush
no
I
good,
was going, the more hornier they were getting, because they were like, this dude wants it.
the rapier that they'd become. Now,
Because I was like, what the fuck? I was like, the more further into the bush I was going, why the fuck did they keep following me? But the more into the bush I went, the more hornier they were getting.
and you didn't even know where you were going, hey, bro?
I was like, fuck, I just came out for a bushwalk on a Tuesday.
What happened? How did you get away from them?
I had to jump the fence.
What, like a
into
farm
the
fence?
residential area.
What, into someone's backyard or something?
Nah, like part of it goes off to like if you're on the right hand side. Yeah.
Oh man, that's horrifying. Yeah, man. Well, that's very terrifying for you, and we thank you for sharing that with us. I'm going to bring Selena in if she's ready. I'm sure she'd have a couple of questions for you regarding. Oh, actually, no, she's backstage. It doesn't seem like her camera's firing up. Maybe should we bring her through? It looks like it's working now. Audio check. How are you going with the audio?
Audio's fine.
Yeah, cool. Now, have you got any advice for Hayden? He went walking at a scenic reserve, and he was almost abducted and molested by a gentleman, or maybe he wasn't quite so gentle.
Oh, really, Hayden? I don't even know what you say is true, brother.
Man, she's come on here with a bit of an attitude tonight.
Oh yeah, well, I wonder where I got that from. Buddy. Hayden. Yeah. No, Hayden, stop with the derogatory talk. I've had enough. I'm going to cut you from this broadcast. You keep that up, okay, young man?
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to Hayden.
What derogatory talk are you talking about?
Just rewind. You think you can get away with it? You think it's good for ratings? No, it's not. So stop it. Okay?
What about him saying that he went for a bushwalk and he got followed by some guys?
No, even before that. I'm sick of it. Don't.
Okay, well you're gonna need to elaborate because this isn't making very good broadcast, you know.
Oh well, yeah. Okay. Yep. I'll see you soon then.
Madonna's bum. Was it Madonna's bum? Or...
Oh, was it Madonna's bum, Selena?
She's not happy about Madonna's bum.
Honestly,
no, it's a consistency that Hayden has, and he thinks it's funny. It's not funny. The way you talk about females, you do not know who's listening. Okay, you do not know what triggers you could be causing people. So stop.
So that means we can't have a conversation. We have to consider what other people think when we have to talk about anything.
You just think that males are talking.
Okay, well, I don't need that, frankly. And wow.
I don't think I said anything too bad.
It's amazing, what people think that they can, people think they can. Shit, was it? That's it. I mean, like, honestly, like, have a conversation, but don't tell me what to think.
I'm not telling you what to think. I'm just calling you guys out. Okay.
What? It's about Madonna's bum.
You're gonna cancel us now.
No, I'm not canceling anyone. No.
If
Is
you
it about?
cancel us, we're ready.
No.
We're so ready for you to cancel us and come in here and cancel us.
Yeah.
There's a
yeah,
picture.
okay.
She put the picture out there herself, Selena.
I don't know what you're talking about. Madonna's butt. Yeah, well, she's had implants. I wasn't actually listening to in every word that you said since you logged on, Hayden, because I know that you're very triggering. You're trying to hype people up in the wrong way. It's very annoying. You're causing us a lot of stress. Okay, I've got enough stress of my own. Okay, trying to run this fucking show. Okay, fuck.
Is one of your mates
Wow.
frequent Murphy's Bush?
Oh
Or
my god. What's that, bro?
is one of her friends like go to Murphy's Bush all the time? Or
I've got no idea. I've got no idea. Anyway, totally triggered by the broadcast. And
I don't think I said anything too bad.
No, don't worry about it. We're going to move right along. We were talking about Matariki. We were keeping everything moving. That's for sure. And talking about having enough problems of your own. Keep it to yourself. And well,
So
what's that, mate? What's that? When
is Matariki?
Oh, I've got no idea, mate. I've got no idea. It's something to do with Māori New Year, isn't it?
Yeah, so it might be early New Year because I think the Maori New Year is like after ours, like in January or something.
Now, these vaccine passports are causing a lot of people a lot of stress, aren't they, man?
I never thought I'd get someone so angry about talking about Madonna's bum and Murphy's Bush.
To be honest, I don't even know if that was it. I just don't think she likes you. It's like honestly, bro, she's actually told me before, like, don't put me on with him. She's got like a personal grudge with you, man. And,
oh really? What? I thought we got along. Like,
nah, dude. She's got a personal grudge with you, and
oh really?
She doesn't want to be on with you. That's sort of why I was sort of trying to stall earlier. And
I never said anything bad about her.
Many topics here. A lot of it is satirical. So if people are taking us for face value, of course, it's all in jest. And
that seems weird to me. I don't know. I don't think I've ever said anything bad about her. Okay, well, take that on board, and still do the same shit.
I think there was something in my drink. I don't know what it was, but that's all right. Well, there is a lot going on, and these passports, I mean, have you had to scan your one? How are you getting on?
Yeah, like I got a haircut, as you can see. So I had to scan it for my haircut.
How much was a men's haircut?
It was 32.
32. Not bad.
But I wasn't too happy with it. Like she's just kind of like, it took her like 10 minutes, and I was like,
yeah, right.
You could have
one of those ones, eh?
Yeah, I like to go to a men's barbers, but because I've been working longer, when I finish work, they're all closed.
I know what you mean.
Because they're $25, but they kind of like, they take about 25-30 minutes. And I still feel like in a couple of weeks I'll need another one, because it's not like she didn't even show me the mirror when you see the back of of your head.
Oh my God. She's trying to do like a contactless service. Maybe she doesn't want to suck your air. Maybe she doesn't want to. Maybe they're telling them, like, they're just saying, look, usually we drag these haircuts out and try to be nice, but now we've got to cut all of Auckland in 3 weeks.
Exactly.
Maybe they're saying
Exactly.
no more
Yeah.
nicety. Treat it like a garden hedge, and just don't cut the ears off. If you don't
Yeah,
cut
and
the ears off, you're good to go. It doesn't matter how it looks.
exactly.
It must be costing them thousands of dollars in garbage bags. You know those big black sacks? They must be piling
Yeah.
up with human hair out the back.
But I kind of sympathise with them because they haven't been able to work for so long.
They have, yeah. So they
Because they were shut down until basically a week or two ago.
You know what? You could buy a pair of really, really good battery rechargeable clippers on AliExpress. Learn how to cut your own hair. It's not as hard as you'd think, and
Yeah,
it would
probably.
probably cost you about $35. That's what I've chosen to do. I mean, look at my hair; it looks really, 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 and you know, I can do the whole cranium with one item. There's no traveling involved. There's no after hours. There's no women that are
One
trying
item.
to rush you or tell you how to look or what to think. It's a free
That's
society.
why I like it, Benny. It's one item.
It's one item, but it's one item, but with many accessories, and that's sort of, you know, I think that's what women are all about, aren't they? Accessorizing. As long as you've got enough bits and pieces, you can make it work. There's a few things here. I mean, there's a race-related topic which I'm not gonna discuss that. The US boycotting the China Winter Olympics. Did you hear about that at all?
Yeah, I saw that on the news yesterday.
You did? Oh, good. Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. I mean, we're not sending. Oh, let me just move this screen. We're not sending any delegation out over there either. But we're playing the COVID card. We're playing it carefully. We're not getting political on it. We're playing the COVID card, and I mean, I think tactically that's very wise. But on a humanitarian level,
I mean, like,
kind of weak.
Winter Olympics is all good, man, but it doesn't compare to the actual Olympics.
No, but
You
it's
know
got a
what I mean?
magic. Not for you, but for some people it does, and for the competitors it does. And
Yeah, because I couldn't
the
believe with
Olympics
the Americans. A lot of the Americans, they actually like the Winter Olympics more than the normal Olympics.
The Winter Olympics got a real magic to it, mate. It's got some superb sports, and it's really does showcase human ability and agility. Oh, I mean, things like skiing through the mountains and shooting and of course any of the downhill or the ski jumping. It's all very, very spectacular. It's a very much a spectacle. And then of course you've got the toboggan.
Well, that one where what's that one where they run on the skis and then
cross country skiing
and then be down the hill.
Cross country. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. And I mean that's kind of I think that's developed from exercise training in the war, which is pretty cool.
Exactly. And it's good to see that Switzerland are doing well in that one.
Okay, so so the Chinese warns that the US will pay a price for boycotting the Winter Olympics. What do you think that price is going to be? trade in economic issues.
It's
I guess
it's all to do with the currency, man.
it's all to do with the currency.
Yeah, Trump was trying to do it for years because China was always devaluing their currency. That's how they're getting all the people. But people are trying to say for years, like your currency is worth way more than what it sells for. And that's how they're fucking.
Yeah, roger that.
Because everyone in
hear you.
America is just buying all their shit from China.
That's right. Yeah, there's a it's quite interesting to watch these two go at each other right now, isn't it? What will China do in retaliation?
Probably just keep it like that.
Joe Ford. Our apologies, Joe Ford. We had some slight technical issues there. I think it's because I had the Twitter feed running through the system. It was causing Hayden to break up a bit there. Could you just reiterate what you were just saying there, if you don't mind? Part of that was lost, I believe.
So America and China have been fighting for years because America has always been trying to get China to devalue their currency because the currency is worth less than it actually should be. So all the countries, America and basically all the countries, buy all the shit from China because it's cheaper, where they've actually got strong economic growth, but they're trying to keep their currency low so that people still buy shit from there. So America's been trying for years. That's why they've been fighting with China for years, because China's just getting all their business from America because Americans don't want to buy American made because they can get it for way cheaper in China because of the price.
Yeah, and then there's trouble when there's supply chain shortages and international trading sanctions and things like that come involved. Then the Americans start scrambling. They start thinking, shit, maybe we should start building some factories and doing our own thing, because China's totally running the show as far as production goes and cheap labor. And, China's had enough. They've pretty much kicked the West out. They're running their own shit now.
Yeah, well, Donald Trump was actually one of the dudes that was trying to change that.
That's right. Now, Trump had huge issues with China and the way that China was running things. And, now you're seeing Biden saying, look, China, change your ways. This human, it's genocide. They're describing it as a damned genocide. Have you heard that much, my guy, about the Uyghur population?
No, they've got massive wars going, between the two of them. And then there's that weird shit with the tennis player now. The tennis players come out.
Yeah. Ping Lee or something like that. Lee Ping.
Yeah, and then people are like, hey, man, like, where the fuck is she? Like, seriously, because everyone's known China's been corrupt for years, but
very concerning.
Yeah,
very concerning indeed. And
they've become more of a superpower in the last sort of 5 to 10 years. They've taken over America. Like, they're more powerful than America.
Joe Ford in the chat. We've got a comment. Let's bring it up on the screen. This is interactive talkback. So what you say in the chat, we can bring it right here up on the console. This has been China's plan for a long time to be the biggest supplier. So everyone is relying on them. They've become very fast at being able to duplicate and replicate products. Very incredible what they're doing. And also like high-tech technology. I mean, China is leading the charge with electric cars, absolutely dominating the market. And not only
well, that's the business that I'm in, car sales, and yeah, you definitely see it with China recently, but South Korea before China pretty much took over the car industry with what they could do with the prices and what kind of quality you could get with Hyundai and Kia sort of 5 to 10 years ago.
Right.
And they bought all the guys from BMW and Audi to work for them.
Makes a lot of sense. And yeah, they're doing it, and their drone technology is really, really good.
But I mean, it's like it's kind of, in a way, it's good for New Zealand for China to be strong, like for Asia, because we're close to that. It's better for us.
Yeah, I mean, China's been a godsend. I've been buying a bunch of stuff off AliExpress, and
I just don't like all the fake shit, you know.
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with a high quality replica item. I think it's good market competition. I think that a lot of car parts have been overpriced for a long time, and then having a good access to affordable non-OEM car parts is a real good thing. And even like watches like this watch here, this is a very, very good imitation Casio watch.
Oh yeah, and, we used to get the Rolexes and stuff, and
yeah,
you couldn't tell them apart. Like I put a fake Rolex next to my mate's, a guy I used to work with. He had a real Rolex. You put the fake one next to the real one. The only difference was the weight. And then,
I mean, this is a really, really nice watch, and it's just like the classic Casio, and it's really well constructed as well. And it's waterproof. You can wear it in the spa, the sauna. It's cheap. You can get them off AliExpress, and they've got all cool colorways. Like this one's black and gold. You can get black ones, gold ones, silver ones. You can get the traditional cheap ones with just the plastic ones with the rubber straps. Blue, anything. They're good. They're a great kids watch, a first watch, even a watch for like grandparents and things like that. It's a hard watch. It's a good vibe.
Yeah, I mean, with that kind of stuff, it's like, it's all good for us and stuff. But I'm talking about the US. The US is having a major issue with China because they're not making anything in America anymore.
Yeah, but I mean it's an issue only now that there's these taxes and these embargoes and all these supply chain constraints with shipping and things like that. But before that, the Americans were laughing, and it was the Chinese that were the ones that were getting thrashed.
Yeah.
So they've finally got the upper hand to some extent. But the Chinese very interesting situations with them.
But I mean, I don't know if Biden. It doesn't really seem like he's doing too much, eh? Like,
Not a lot. He's asleep at the wheel, effectively. He's just trying not to say a lot so that he can't be filmed effing up over and over and over again. And he's a goofy guy, and the majority of people who voted for them are regretting that now. That's what I hear.
So Joe Ford, did you see his comment?
Oh, about the China, the Labour Party is being funded by China.
Yeah.
There are ties, aren't there? There are some sort of ties there to some, on some level. I mean, I get it that there's trade deals. I wouldn't go as far to say that it's being funded by China per se, but a lot of countries throughout the Pacific have got deals, don't they?
What do you think, Benny? What do you think, Benny, on the media in New Zealand's response to the vaccine?
The media?
The media, like Herald, everything, like Facebook, Herald.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's all those mainstream medias are pretty much reporting, like fact-checked articles that are sort of narrative stuff, right?
Yeah, I know, but like
safe journalism.
It all seems to be going one way. It's like, why can't they have a debate on TV1 or TV3? Why can't they actually have a live debate with someone who's vaxxed and someone who doesn't want to get vaxxed? And why can't they have a live debate about it?
Because it goes against everything that they're trying to do with their 1 p.m. They've already got their TV show. They've already got their debate.
But it's just annoying because you hear because everything
that's the trouble, mate. This is my answer. They don't want to have that discussion. They're the law. They're the single source of truth. So by their logic, there is no debate, and what they say goes, and that's their logic. But I think it would be good to have that sort of discussion. We're open to that type of discussion, and it's often it ends up with the people opposed to the vaccine becoming very wound up.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, I mean, the thing is, I know people.
Show, frankly, we don't put up with people
fully
getting
vaccinated. My sisters, a couple of my sisters, or all of my sisters are fully vaccinated, but we still kind of feel like, in a way, you were kind of forced to do it.
Yeah, I mean, we were all. I mean, the population was not forced, but strongly encouraged.
Yeah. Well, you strongly encourage. You can't go out and do the stuff that you want to do if you're not. And sometimes you would get fired from your job.
Yep, that's it. And it was all very patchy, wasn't it? And sketchy about what information was released and when. They'd always tell us that as soon as they knew, we'd know. But it always seems that they knew sort of a couple of weeks out. And anyway, it's all new grounds, unfortunately, for us. As a nation, we haven't had to really deal with any sort of airborne pathogens in the past.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean,
we had our measles outbreak. Remember that? They took that pretty seriously.
All I'm saying that is, there's not any option. There's not option to go, and then anyone who's not vaccinated, they kind of get so much hate from the media, or someone Like,
did you hear about the mayor of Coromandel?
no.
Well, the mayor of Coromandel is a classic case. She is not wanting to take the Pfizer vax. She is waiting for the Novavax, and she's kind of adamant that she's not going to be on the Pfizer. And she wasn't even contact tracing. She was sort of saying, "Oh, I know where I'm going, and I'm sure my visa will show you where I've been."
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was her stance.
And what Tina's brought up a good point. She said, "Why not just have a test and show you a test instead of get?" Because that's also the thing that I was like, "Oh, you're vaccinated, but it still doesn't really mean anything. You still have to get your COVID test and all that." Like, it's not like you're fully vaccinated, so you can just walk around like normal.
Let's quickly check in with Selena and see if she's all right now. Here we go. Hey, how are you going at your end there, Selena?
So much better. Oh yeah, I just had a facial and I had my nails done. I'm feeling like 100,000% better, and I just want to apologize, Hayden. So sorry for being so aggressive, bitchy, but I just thought it was necessary to just bring some points forward. So anyway, let's move on.
Okay, great. Will you say hi to your hairdresser and your nail technician for us? And wow, she came through as semi-delusional there. Pretty interesting. What are your thoughts?
I just don't really know why she got angry in the first place. I don't think I said anything too bad, did I? I was like, what did I say that annoyed her?
I don't know, but we've got someone in the chat, Mack.
I say weird. I say the worst
Good
shit.
to get it off your chest, girl. From Maxa. So that's pretty good. Someone in the chat seems to know what's going on. Maxa seems happening. Hey, Maxa, call in if you want to have your opinion and try and tell us what's happening. Kiwi Bear Muzza in the chat. And yeah. So the vaccine. I went into a burger place today, and they wanted to see the vaccine pass, and I showed him the little QR code, and he said, "Okay, sweet as," and didn't scan it or anything.
Yeah, it's weird because sometimes you'll go, can you show us your vaccine pass? And you have to find it.
Yeah.
And then I'm worried that if I go through my phone in front of them, they're going to see a dick pic. And
yeah, but I mean, you don't have like your dick pic on your lock screen or on your wallpaper or anything, do you?
Nah. I'm not that.
So here's the trick, dude. What you need to do is, try and delete all those off your phone for a starter.
But I want to keep one on there because I don't want to. Because when a chick says
folders are really good. But secondly, put your QR code as your lock screen. That's a sort of a Thane Kirby hack. You put your QR code as your lock screen, and then you don't.
But they can't scan it though, can they?
Yeah. Yeah, you just go like that,
Because if I go to my gallery,
hang on, let me just turn the brightness down. We're going to wrap the show up soon, everyone, but we appreciate you all for watching, and you've been awesome. We've got 9 people. That's a record, and I'm going to lock my phone if I can. There it is. There.
Yeah.
And,
instead of scanning my QR code, can I just show you a dick pic?
It depends who you. It depends where you're being served at.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're at an LGBTQ friendly establishment, and or if you're going for a bushwalk, and someone approaches you and asks to see ID, and if that's what they need to see, that's what they need to see. Anyway, Hayden, thanks for joining the show, man.
Yeah, Subway sandwiches. You need to show a dick pic.
Man, oh man, that goes out of control, eh? And he sure knows how to trigger people. Fucking hell. Anyway, this has been another broadcast of Talking Smack with Benny Mack, and thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow night.